Okay, and we will start the show.
From their spinning teacups, where they ponder the difference between Tweedledum and Tweedledee, it's the Mr. Frank's Wild Ride Show! We're gonna have great Disney talk, music, mayhem, and mirth.
Gosh, oh boy!
What's mirth?
So let's round up our hosts as we start up our engines for Mr. Frank's Wild Ride Show.
'Cause Mr. Frank's Wild Ride Show is the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hey, welcome to Mr. Frank's Wild Ride. This is Disney Frankness, and along for the ride we have my co-host Christiane Elin. Hey, Christiane.
Hi. How's everyone?
And my buddy Chris, that's WDW_Topher. He is off this evening. He's doing other things down in Florida, doing some acting gig, and so we will. I'll be covering the Walt Disney World this evening, and we have for our guest host, we have my friend Todd. Todd, now, am I saying your last name right?
Perlmutter.
Perlmutter.
Yes.
Okay. And Todd, tell everybody what your group name is.
I'm from the Disney Film Project, and I'm also from On the Go and MCO technically. So.
On the Go MCO. Okay.
Yeah. I'm the tech guy. I program the website there. So.
Okay. Well, can you tell us about the group that you started?
Yeah. So. Well, like I said, I didn't actually start Disney Film Project. That's actually something Ryan started. But Ryan and I met online, and we talked a lot about movies and stuff like that because I was commenting on his blog at the time. And his original goal was to watch all the Disney movies and shorts straight on through, from chronologically from the beginning until the present. He's somewhere in the 50s right now. As far as I think in the 50s. Okay. And, he and I had this idea we would do a podcast, but we thought that if it was just him and I alone, it would be a little boring because we would get a little too geeky. So we knew we needed to find someone else. We had to, so we had to find someone else. My wife wanted to contribute, but she wasn't really sure how, and we kind of put it to bed for a little bit until we started talking with our friend Brianna online, and one time she came to Disney World and I just asked her if she wanted to be the co-host with us, and that's how we originally got started. And we practiced our first recording about a month and a half after that, I think, roughly. And we just started the first week in January of, hang on, let me think about this for a second. 2011 was our first year going. You have to think back when you put up your first episode. And that was it. We just went forward from there.
So, on your episodes, what is it that you're? I mean, I see the messages that come from your group, but what is it that what's your purpose in the group? What is it you're trying to do?
Well, okay. So every episode of the podcast is very simply based on one Disney movie. We're not doing it in any particular order. We kind of have like a very ad hoc yet logical method of coming up with the list each year, and we actually plan quite a bit in advance for what our movie list is. We know everything through the end of the year, and we're right now starting to plan next year. And each episode is we take one movie, we review the movie, we talk about the movie, its background a little bit, and then we just kind of walk through the plot of the movie and we make commentary and jokes along the way. And then we rate it at the end. Episodes run like an hour to an hour and a half, though sometimes longer if it's something we really like or if it's a new movie. Those tend to run a little bit longer.
So it's I don't know why it makes me think about this, but I used to watch Mystery Science Theater 3000, and they used to always during the movie they'd have to sit in chairs and be watching the movie with you. And comment.
I do remember Mystery Science Theater.
So is it sort of like that? You're commenting during the.
We're not watching the movie. We just kind of walk through the movie. We've all watched the movie ahead of time before recording,
Okay.
And that's basically it. So, once we get in there, we have our notes, we have our talking points that we want to talk about. There's no rehearsal ahead of time, and we just roll with it.
Now, how many people are involved when you watch a movie? How many people are involved in this discussion?
It has traditionally been 4 hosts, and I'll get back to that in a second. And usually, well, not usually, but we try every couple episodes to have a guest on to join us to discuss the movie. It has to be a movie that they're interested in. We talk a little bit with them beforehand to get an idea of what they might like to do. We show them like particular dates of what we're recording, because again, this is another reason to have the list of movies ahead of time, because if people know what they can pick from, they get a little bit more interested. And sometimes if they want a very specific movie, we just try and plan them into the schedule when we're planning, or move things around, which we've done before. We did just have a host changeover. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but Brianna's no longer on the podcast.
No.
Yeah, so she left. Her life got too busy. No hard feelings or anything. She just,
Sure.
She was upset she had to leave, but she did. And we now have a new host named Rachel, who is joining us. And Rachel's very good. Rachel is an independent film writer, and she's studied film in school a little bit, probably more so than I did. And she lives in New York City, and she writes for a website called Just Press Play.
Just Press Play.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Now, Christiane, have you ever come across what they do?
No, this is all new to me, but I think it's great. Do you do it by like genre or years, or is there any kind of like how you choose which movie to do next?
What's the method to your madness?
So basically, the method is it's right now Cheryl is trying to pick one from every decade at the moment, and just kind of bounce around through the decades to get a little feel of everything. There's no method. You look at what movies are coming out for the year when you're planning the year out. You look at what DVD or Blu-ray releases are coming out. You try and fit those into an appropriate schedule, and then each of us kind of throw in like 5 or 6 things that we really want to talk about that year. At some point, if people want a particular episode on their birthday, one of the hosts will get that sort of thing, and then from there a schedule coalesces, and then it gets changed all the time anyway.
So do you have a particular favorite film that you always throw in there and maybe it hasn't been picked yet?
One that hasn't been picked yet.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we always joke, I really, really want to do Black Hole. Cheryl, I think it was was it John Lasseter? Yeah, John Lasseter said he wanted to remake Black Hole. So she has decided we're not going to do the original Black Hole until we can do them back to back. So I'm not getting Black Hole at the moment. That's
So it's always just 4 of you that you're discussing the movie?
Yeah, that's basically the format.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I just wondered because it seemed like it would be awesome if sometime you could get somebody who was part of the movie that could be part of your discussion.
Well, we know that there are other podcasts that get people from the movies on to discuss it. I mean, we would do it if someone approached us or if we thought it was a good idea. I guess it's just we have our thing and we're doing it more as critics.
Right.
Than to interview, and so there's legitimate ways. Like you said, you interviewed somebody to me, I think recently you said you did that, right? Or
Yep.
You made a cut, right? And that's not our shtick, Like I said, we're very honest. I like to think of it as honest criticism, right? Is nobody's paying me to do this. I'm coming in and I'm giving my opinion, and I think that's pretty much how everybody else looks at it. And I can tell you that this week is the episode that comes out tomorrow for us, because we're recording this on a Sunday night, so is the first movie where I literally said on the podcast, this movie has no redeeming qualities and nobody should go to see this movie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't wait to see what movie this is.
Well, you can go to the website now if you want to know what it is, because we always post on the website what the next episode is going to be. So if people want to watch it in the preceding week, they can.
Well, tell everybody what the website is.
The website is DisneyFilmProject.com. Okay, I think, you just look up those 3 words in the dictionary, put them together, and you can get there. And we always have a link to the current episode and a link to the next episode. And that's basically it. It's a blog. Sometimes we put up reviews of other things. Like I've got a review of the Phineas and Ferb Mission Marvel DVD. I got that in the mail, so I reviewed it. And that'll go up on Tuesday, that review, because that's the first, so that's the day it comes out.
Yeah, I had Dan Povenmire and Swampy Marsh on our show.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you talk just Disney, or did you talk like Simpsons and stuff also?
Well, I mean, they made mention of where they'd worked, so
Okay.
they made mention of that they'd worked at The Simpsons and so forth.
Well, also Family Guy, so.
Yeah. They had been together for quite a while, 15 years, and so it's funny how things kind of go for full circle like that. But I was trying to think.
Can I get 1 second?
Yeah.
Oh, I just need to be first.
I can't wait to see his take on Star Wars. What Disney's going to do with it.
Hopefully they don't change it too much.
Uh-oh, I think we lost your sound.
Oh, sorry. I'll be 2 minutes. We lost. We have a flood in the kitchen. I'll be right back.
Oh no.
Well.
The good thing about his project is they do have a lot of content to work with there.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, I don't know if he includes Touchstone. Isn't it Touchstone also a Disney brand?
Touchstone is a Disney brand, and I'm trying to think. And they've had some of the Disney stuff that's been remade too. So I wonder if they do comparisons. I mean, for example. The Absent-Minded Professor was then made into Flubber.
Right.
I believe that was the title of the remake. So that would be I don't know. It'd be now I got a question to ask him, but we've got a family emergency at the house. Got a little
hey, not really any technical difficulties today. That was good.
No. So,
but it's so funny that there's so many ways that you can cover Disney movies. So.
I apologize for that.
That's okay. We were just talking about all the movies that you're looking at, and are you doing comparisons of remakes versus originals, like the Absent-Minded Professor versus the remake of Flubber?
We haven't specifically done like in that respect. We have a couple episodes where we've done the original and the remake, and we do talk about them, but we don't specifically compare or contrast them like that. Just because it's, I mean, I get the inkling to do that. Again, it's just not how we approach it. Like if you listen to the show, it's just not. We might mention it. We might say it was originally made. We might say like so and so was better than so and so in the same role, but we don't go line for line comparison of the movies.
Right. Oh, I just wondered because like the Shaggy DA, I was not a fan of the Shaggy Dog remake with Tim Allen.
Okay.
I prefer the original, but I just wondered if you guys ever just really compared the remakes they tried to come out with.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. I did. Well, I agree. I did not like. We did do both Shaggy Dogs, by the way, very recently, early this year, and we came to the same conclusions. The Tim Allen one is not nearly as good as the original.
Yeah.
They went a little overboard, but if you look at the Shaggy Dog that Tim Allen did, right, it's not just the original Shaggy Dog. It's a combination of the Shaggy Dog plus the Shaggy DA.
Yeah.
Right. So it has elements of both going on.
Which
What?
Which is fine, I guess, but I still, I don't know. I mean, I like Tim Allen, but I just
It has creepy mutant animals in it, and let's just leave it at that.
just didn't really care for the new version, but I have to think a lot of people didn't either, because I don't think it did that well. I think the Flubber did okay.
The remake with Robin Williams, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Flubber was a pretty popular movie at the time that it came out. You know, it's definitely not remotely The Absent-Minded Professor. Very different things are going on in both movies, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
We haven't actually reviewed either.
Oh, you have?
No, but we have done 2 of the films in the Medfield College trilogy. So.
What other films? I'm trying to think what the other films are.
Well, you have Strongest Man in the World, Now You See Him, Now You Don't, and what's the other one, Cheryl? The original one? My brain is going at the moment.
Oh, you're talking with Kirk Douglas?
Kurt Russell movies,
Russell.
yes.
Kurt Russell, I mean. Okay.
Oh, the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. I don't know why I'm blanking that one. So we did Computer That Wore Tennis Shoes, and we did Strongest Man in the World, but that's the first and the third. We haven't done the middle one, which is Now You See Him, Now You Don't.
Right.
And those are all Medfield College, just like Absent-Minded Professor is. So it's, but those 3 that are Kurt Russell are referred to as the Medfield College trilogy.
Yeah. No, I like those. I like those movies. I do like. It was it was different. I mean, they made like almost like a little series, although they are separate movies.
Right.
But gosh, he got to be strong. He got to be invisible. He got what was the third one? It was
the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes. That's the original one. Yeah.
That's where he was super smart, like a computer. Yeah.
Yeah, because I love that one because he gets during a storm he gets electrocuted while working on a computer, and so he becomes the computer brain because of that. Very very Frankensteinian.
Yeah, that makes sense. What was the one? What was the one they had? Oh, The Strongest Man in the World was the one they had to eat the cereal.
Correct.
The cereal. I remember that one. I remember the big bowl of cereal. They had to eat this huge bowl of cereal and made it strong. Okay. So
I know you were. Oh, sorry. I know you were talking about how you pick which film. So you pick it based on like DVD and what other new releases are coming out. Mm-hmm. So. Do you usually do you do the new releases pretty quickly?
Yeah, sometimes within a week or 2 of them coming out.
What's coming out soon then?
Thor.
Right, November 1st.
The Dark World.
Thor is the next one on our schedule that's coming out, and then we've also got Frozen and Saving Mr. Banks coming out. Those are the 3, I think, between now and the end of the year.
Maleficent isn't out by the end of the year?
No, I think that's next year.
Oh, okay.
Now, you mentioned the one that with Tom Hanks that's coming out. That's when is that supposed to come out?
That is, I believe, I can tell you the exact date if you want me to look.
Well, no.
Yeah, I think it's December. It's like a holiday movie.
Okay. And now I'm trying to remember the actress's name that she plays with the Mary Poppins author.
What's it?
P.L. Dab.
Bea Tather. I can never remember her name. I have to always look at it because it's anytime it's initials, I have problems.
It's like P.L. Danvers.
P.L. Travers. That's it.
Travers. Yeah. But I'm trying to remember the actress that plays her now. I've just blanked. I can picture her.
Yeah, I would have to look. I haven't done my research on it yet. So, and I really haven't. I actually am trying, unless it's like a movie where I already kind of know everything going in, like Thor: Dark World. Okay, I know everything going in because these are just stories that are being regrouped as a movie. So even if they change it, I know the characters, I know what's going to happen ultimately, that kind of stuff. So there's not as much surprise for me. So I know that off the top of my head. I mean, I know the people involved in, Mary Poppins and the making of it. So, and we did Mary Poppins in episodes. So I've done that research already, but I haven't done research on the movie about the movie. So. Which is kind of how I'm right now in my head thinking of what Saving Mr. Banks is, right? Saving Mr. Banks will actually be our last episode this year.
Yeah, that should be an interesting one. And I guess they got the film a little bit of it in Disneyland too. So.
Yes, that's what I heard. They had them walk in through Disneyland, which was traditional. I mean, because that's a story that goes way back. Is that he spends a day with her in Disneyland to convince her that it's a good idea, that that Mary Poppins will fit well with what he's actually trying to do. Because my understanding of the story, without knowing what they're doing for the movie specifically, is that there was a lot of back and forth between the two of them, where he wanted to do this for his children, but she only saw what he did as childish, right? So it was a matter to convince her that what he did was for all ages, not just, which is funny because today, we know that, we understand that whole angle of everything, but she didn't, coming from outside the country and, coming here to the U.S., I mean, it must have been culturally shocking in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I can imagine she was just she was just concerned that it would get overly commercial and not true to the story. So
yeah, I could buy that.
Now you also I have been busy lately with my buddy John, because John, who is on Twitter as @DisneyWorlds, has he's videotapes a lot of stuff that's at Disney, but also other things in Florida. And you recently videotaped. You guys went to Universal Studios.
We did.
And I only know it because he said your name, and you can hear your voice behind the camera.
That video cracks me up now because John had me laughing so hard all the way through that haunted house. So that giggling that you hear that whole video is me laughing, because I can't stop laughing. There are points that he literally jumps back into me, and I'm like, whoa.
Scared him back into you, huh?
Yeah. So because we made a friend Amy while we're there, and so he placed himself to send her first and him second and then me third, so that if anything came in either direction, he would be okay. That was his plan.
Yeah, he put himself in the middle to protect himself.
That's right. Notice I'm throwing him under the bus while he's not here, but yeah.
It's okay. That's all right. That's what he. I mean, I think he kind of even admits the fact that to that a little bit, but it is fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually gonna go. They only walked us through the one house twice, once with everything on, and then once with it off, kind of thing. So that was basically what we did. And I'm gonna go back on my birthday, which is the day before my birthday is a Sunday night. But I always take my birthday off. Don't work on my birthday, so that Sunday night I'm gonna go with a bunch of friends, and so I'm kind of excited about that because I like Halloween Horror Nights, and I know that there is an American Werewolf in London house that I'm very excited about, because one of the things that they told us at that press preview was that John Landis himself approved the werewolf. So I think that makes it, in my mind, that makes it very legit and makes it my top pick of things that I want to see when I go. So.
Yeah, they from everything I've ever seen of the videos, they seem to really do a really good job of trying to make everything as authentic as they can to the original project. I mean, I remember last year they had videos all about The Walking Dead, and it seems to take certain scenes from the show and put it into the haunted house.
Yeah, well, I was at last year's, and the Walking Dead that they did last year was so successful that this year they brought it back, and they given it a bigger set for this year. So it should be, and that was the one that we actually got to walk through.
Oh, that was okay. So you were attacked by zombies.
We were.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of zombies and that type of stuff when you do these horror night things, because zombies are like, they're the things that always chase people. There are vampires and werewolves and stuff too, obviously, but it's a lot of zombies.
Did they still have the one classic house, which was the I think last year they had I saw videos of one house that had the classic monsters.
Yes, that was actually literally my favorite house last year. They did a Universal's classic monsters house, so it was the creature from the Black Lagoon, the werewolf, the Frankenstein monster, and it was a completely black and white house the way they did it. So there was nothing that was in color, and the way they do the lights is they drowned out all the color and muted everything, so even you looked black and white when you were inside of it. And I really like the effect, because what happens is you kind of walk into a movie theater, and then you walked up into the movie booth and then stepped into the film. That was how they did it.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
And then you just go through the various scenes in the movies.
So how many houses do they have over there?
I want to say
I know it's a
that
lot.
there's 8 or 9 houses, something like that. And they take a while to get through. Like, I know, like, last year I got through all of them because it was a press thing, so we did a front of the line pass. This year we're just doing a regular pass, and the last time I did that, I know we got through 5 houses, so that's what I'm expecting this time around.
So how much does that cost to go to Universal for their...
So as a Florida resident, for the one night to go to the special event is $42, I think.
Wow. Wow, $42, and you get through 5...
Plus there's street events and stuff like that, and they have monsters roaming the streets, and there's a couple other things you can do as well, so it's not just the haunted houses. There's every year they have this Bill and Ted show. I don't know if you've heard about it. It is that funny. So what it is they have Bill and Ted, and they do an assault on popular culture each year, right? So all the events that have happened since the last Bill and Ted show, movies, television, news events, whatever, they work it into this crazy mishmash, and it becomes a Bill and Ted adventure. Usually Dr. Evil is the bad guy.
I want to go.
And time travel.
Well, they do. I thought, don't they do the same thing out at Universal in California?
They do something. I've never been there. I'm gonna go to Not Scary Farm though, because Elvira's back. So.
I've been to Knott's Berry Farm in a very long time.
Neither have I. Trying to go to Disney.
Well, anybody that wants to check out what Todd is doing, well, first of all, what is your Twitter account name?
My Twitter handle is tperlmutter, so that's the letter T, then PERLMUTTER.
And then the
podcast.
Diz Film Project.
Yeah, the podcast itself is Diz Film Project on Twitter, DISFILMPROJECT.
And then where would they check out the podcast?
Okay, so they can again hit the podcast at DisneyFilmProject.com.
Is it on iTunes as well, I imagine?
Yes, you can look up Disney Film Project on iTunes and download us, and we have an RSS feed, and you can do the whole 9 yards there with the whole download the podcast. It's on your iPod. We're on Stitcher Radio as well, so you can find us there. I'm trying to think of where else. Facebook, we have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So, all the standard stuff.
Well, I'm not on Stitcher, but I don't know how standard that is, but I know that there's a lot of people that put stuff out there.
Yeah. It was a listener request for us to get on Stitcher, and it was really easy to do.
Huh. Okay.
There's no charge to become a Stitcher partner. At least it wasn't for me. So.
Well, everybody check out Todd's projects, and you've got more than enough to keep yourself busy. That's for sure.
I do a lot. I like to keep myself busy.
And I appreciate you coming on and talking about it and sharing with us what you're doing, and just keep it up, and we'll be back in touch.
That's great. Cool.
Thank you.
Well,
We're all
thanks.
set?
Yep. Yeah. Thanks
All
very
right.
much, Todd.
All right. Thank you. No, anytime. Just let me know. Sorry, I know we've been trying to get me on for a while, so I apologize that I haven't been able to get on before. So.
Oh, you're fine, man. You're absolutely fine.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on.
Sure. Everybody stick with this. We'll be right back, and we'll update you with some Disney news. Okay.
All right. I'm going to hang up. Bye-bye, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. All right. Let's see. Well, I guess since it's just us in the chat room, I won't be giving out a prize this evening. That's too bad.
Aw.
Oh well, let's see. And let's see. Okay. I'm looking at Walt Disney World's own site for Walt Disney World News. And apparently it's news that Snooki visited Walt Disney World.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, had to know that. Okay.
Oh, I see the movie that he picked for this week.
Oh, which one was that?
I think it was Winnie the Pooh.
The original or the or is it the recent Winnie the Pooh that came out?
It was the recent one. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Okay. Well, we'll get into doing the news, and then we'll have Ryan on to talk Disney pins.
Alrighty. Yeah, it was a slow news week for Disneyland, but it was all about Disney World this week.
I guess. 3, 2, 1, and I'm sorry, bear with me. I should have had this ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Gorge, and now it's time for Disney News.
Okay, everybody, and on our Disney News, we always start out in California with the granddaddy of it all, Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. What's happening out in California?
Well, I was just saying that it's kind of a slow time for Disneyland. They're very busy with all the Halloween stuff, which is beautiful. I was able to go there last Saturday, and oh my gosh, Disney does it best with their decorations and stuff. Enjoyed everything. I especially like their Dia de los Muertos display, and the next, what is it, in Frontierland. But what's going on is coming up October 4th through 6th at Downtown Disney, they're having a Downtown Disney Chalk Art Festival. And they're bringing in special chalk artists. You can meet with the artists. And I just saw some chalk art at something else, so this is probably really, really cool. Probably some really cool stuff there, including 3D chalk art. So they also are coming up on the 12th. And it's also, I think it's in downtown Disney also. They're going to have Chris Colfer from Glee, who is an author now, and he's coming out with his new book, the second one, the Land of Stories book in the series. And that one's called The Land of Stories, The Enchantress Returns, so he's going to come to downtown Disney and sign his book.
Oh.
Of course, you have to get in line at 9 o'clock in the morning, buy the book, hopefully get a voucher, and then come back at 2 o'clock when he does the signing. But my daughter is reading his first book right now, and I started reading it with her, and it's good so far. Nice little twist on the fairy tales. The first one has Snow White, so I'm not sure what the second one's about. Another awesome thing that for people who like their coffee from Starbucks, finally Disneyland on the 25th they opened Starbucks inside Disneyland.
Yeah.
California Adventure had got theirs. Finally Disneyland has theirs. Let's see what's going on. Oh, cool thing I found out today on the Disney Park blogs is that they're having, you can vote to help choose a Disney character for the Character Arch celebrating the Festival of the Masters. So there's 10 choices to choose from, and by tomorrow, vote by tomorrow. Your favorite character they have, of the 10. I voted. And then, who is it? At the Festival of Masters event on Downtown Disney, the artwork will be created by Yellow Shoes creative director and blog author Will Gay, and for the November 8th, 11th event. So he's going to create this out of who the fans vote for. I really like that interactivity that they have on that one blog. That you have a choice, just like they did about a month ago. We could choose what character we wanted to see come back.
Yeah, no, that's nice that they get people involved in that.
Another cool thing Disneyland finally has is that you can make Disney resort dining reservations online beginning October 3rd.
You haven't been able to do it online at Disneyland?
No. Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is a big deal for those of us that are out here and we're like, we want to go and eat, know where we're going to eat for the day or whatever.
Right.
But speaking of, so I think that's pretty cool. But speaking of dining, I just wanted to share that I got to go to Club 33 for the first time last Saturday. So that was an awesome experience before they close it down for the big renovation starting in January. So I got to see the original Club 33 waltz room with the microphones in it that were never hooked up, so they say. The buzzard that's still there, that he was supposed to be animatronic, that never worked because they didn't want to do the electronic stuff because of Watergate and about the tapping, and so they didn't want rooms. They were afraid of having what conversations were being picked up in those rooms. So
Okay.
we heard about this from our server. He gave us a little history of the room and why they had the microphones and what the buzzard was supposed to do. So it was pretty exciting to see this now before it changes. I even heard that the elevator, the famous elevator, may not be part of the new Club 33.
Really?
Yeah, and they have I don't know in the men's room, but in the women's restroom they have these special chair toilets. So they look like a fancy chair, and those may change as well.
Okay. So anything else happening out there?
Just really, really beautiful. It's just beautiful, right? At this time of year, I mean, Disney does it best. So I just can appreciate all of the fall and Halloween decorations and.
Yeah. Well, like I've said before, I've not been to Disneyland since my honeymoon, which was 25 years ago. But I've been more recently, a couple of years, went in the fall, and I know in Florida it was really nice. So I imagine in California too, it's nice to go in the fall.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And let's see, I've got stories here for Disney World news. Sip, savor, repeat. Fresh global taste tempt the palate at the 18th Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, September 27th through November the 11th. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party returns, and that is September 10th. It returned with 23 nights of Halloween fun and magic in Magic Kingdom. Fit for Royalty, Happily Ever After Dreams Come True at Princess Fairy Tale Hall, the latest jewel in New Fantasyland expansion at Walt Disney World Resort. Have you seen the videos for that hall?
I've seen some pictures.
There's on YouTube. I've seen some video, and it looks like it's really nice. And they do have pictures up on the wall of I guess each of the princesses, and but I'm trying to remember. I believe you can go to the hall, and Cinderella is there, and there's always a change, a guest princess, and then the other princess. I believe the other princess is Sleeping Beauty, and there's always a guest princess. So it looks like a really nice place to go to. They have a reimagined California Grill at the Disney restaurant scene, to new heights, reopening September the 9th, so just reopened. And they have new interactive glow with the show Mickey Ear Hats. Let guests shine during After Dark Spectaculars at Walt Disney World Resort. I think the last show I mentioned about the hats, the glow at the show hats, I think they started out at Disneyland, and what I had heard was they weren't exactly that popular because they're on your head, and so you can't see. You have to see somebody else wearing the same hat to know what exactly it's doing.
You just have to buy them for the whole family.
Yeah, apparently. I imagine that's the whole purpose. I mean, the kids have fun with them, and they can see each other, with the light show going on. But anyway, that's what I had heard, was that there were people that just weren't exactly enthused because they couldn't see it since it's on their own head. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else here. Food lovers rejoice. Downtown Disney Foodtopia at Walt Disney World Resort brings delicious Prix. I'm not sure how you say it. Fix menus in October.
Pre.
Pre.
Yes.
And then FIXE. Would I say
Fix? Yeah,
or,
fix.
So prefix menus in October. Let's see. Applications are open for the 2014 Disney Dreamers Academy with Steve Harvey and Essence Magazine. Well, nothing else except what I'm looking at is Walt Disney World News, wdwnews.com, and apparently they thought it was pretty important to say that Snooki came to Walt Disney World. Nothing against her, and people enjoy that stuff. That's fine, but I just she doesn't do anything. I mean, I'm not sure.
Well, she's probably she does have a young child, so she's probably bringing him there for the first time.
Hey, God bless her for that, but I'm just saying she doesn't sing, she doesn't dance. I'm not sure exactly what that was all about, but
we have a few of those people in the world right now that we're not quite, you're not quite sure how they got there, but they're making money and they have perfume lines and shoes and clothes, and only in America.
There's people famous for absolutely nothing, and I don't get it, but that's okay. It's just me. All right, so that's what's going on at the parks, and hope anybody listening to the show, watching the show, I hope you get to go, and if you do, let us know. Send us a message at Mr. Frank's Wild WLD Ride. Send us a message and let us know what's happening in California. Let us know what's happening in Florida. We'd like to hear from you guys. We'll be right back, and we're going to have our friend who runs a Disney Pins blog, and he is going to give us an update on what's happening with Disney Pins. Okay, bear with me here a minute. I'm going to take just a moment, and then I'm going to bring him into the show.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Sorry, I have to keep clearing my throat.
It's okay. You're not a robot.
I just wish I'd get over whatever this is that I've got. Makes it difficult for me to sleep with pain in my arm, and come on. Oh, come on.
I think we're competing with the finale of Breaking Bad tonight.
Well, and Once Upon a Time is back on tonight, too.
Yes. The new one, too, right?
Yep, it's recording, so I can watch it after the show. Oh, shoot, come on. What is the deal? Okay, I don't know why my phone is doing this. I'm looking for my contact information for Ryan. Come on. Let's see if that helps. Okay, let's try this. Hey, Ryan. Did you hear me talking about you? Okay, let me, okay, inviting you, and let's see. There it is. Okay, just sent you an invitation. Okay. Yeah, you're coming in. There you are.
All right, cool.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Ryan, this is Christiane. Christiane, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Christiane is in California. Where are you at, Ryan?
I'm in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yes. Big Disney town.
Yep. East Coast. Yep. Where at in California are you?
I'm in Rancho Cucamonga.
Cool.
Where's that?
Nope, I have no clue.
I've heard of Rancho Cucamonga.
It's usually made fun of in some sort of songs or something.
Well, it is kind of a fun name.
It is.
Hey,
It's close to Ontario, California Airport. An hour away from everything. Beach.
Okay.
Beach, mountains. No, not even an hour to snow, but.
Cool. Hey guys, I'm getting like two videos here playing.
I'm not playing a video.
I'm getting double voices. This is playing back.
I just hear our one voice.
It's like I have two videos playing. I'm hearing the conversation is like delayed like a minute or so.
Okay, you know what? You might have. Do you have the video up of that you were watching us on?
That's it. Yep. Okay, there we go. That was getting annoying.
Yeah, that would explain that. Okay. And let's see. Well, your now your Twitter name is it the Disney Pins blog?
Yeah, it's Disney Pins blog. Yep.
Is it just like you had in the chat room underscore on Disney and after Disney and Pins?
Yeah, it's all one word though.
Oh, it's all. There is no underscore. It's all one word.
Nope. Yep, all one word. Disney Pins blog. Yep.
Okay.
So.
Right.
I'm trying to find the. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm good.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. And now we bring in my buddy Ryan. Ryan is on Twitter. His Twitter name is @DisneyPinsBlog, and he is our Disney Pins expert. And I invited Ryan to come on a couple of times on the show, and he can update us on what's happening with Disney Pins. So take it away, Ryan.
All right. Thank you. So I want to talk about there was a huge pin event down in Orlando, Florida at Walt Disney World about 2 weeks ago. It was called 13 Reflections of Evil. And I got to go down, which was pretty awesome. Disney does these events once a year. I think last year was circus themed, and every year they have a different theme, and this year was villains because it landed over Friday the 13th. So it was a 4-day event. It started on September 12th and ended on the 15th, I believe. So I got to go down I went down on Thursday, and I went to the event. The pin event was actually Saturday. The first day, which is kind of like registration day, we got to, I think it was at the Coronado Springs Resort. That was where registration was, and you could meet other pin traders and Vinylmation as well. And then Friday was it was a split day. It was pins and Vinylmation. Then Saturday was all-day pins. And then Sunday was all-day Vinylmation. So I went to just the Saturday event, and it was awesome. I stayed at the Boardwalk Resort, and I got to walk to the event, which was awesome because we got to go through the back entrance at Epcot, and it was in the World Showplace Convention Center, which is near Canada.
Okay.
It was $65 to get into the event. You could have got, I think it was an all-weekend pass for $135, but I'm really not into Vinylmation, so I just want to do the pin event.
Right.
But next year, I might do the whole weekend because I wanted to go to the Friday event since it was split for pins and Vinylmation. I would like to have went that day as well.
I can't wait until they decide to meld the two together.
Yeah, you can tell they're already starting to because a lot of pins now are Vinylmation like shapes.
Ah.
I actually have one behind me. It's Master Gracie from the Haunted Mansion. It's Vinylmation shape, but it's a pin. So I wanted to show you guys some of the pins they released at the event, which I have up here on my computer. I'm going to do a little screen share here so you guys can see.
Okay.
1 second. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my my website, my blog. I put up a post of all the pins that were released. So these pins, actually, you had to do, it's called an RSP, which is random selection process. So you had to pick which ones you want, and then Disney actually told you if you were allowed to buy them or not.
Wow.
They do this because they are really, really limited edition. They're pretty much either 500 or below. And at the event on Saturday, there were 1,600 people there, so not everyone could get these pins. So I just want to go down through some of them to show you guys. The first one here is a jumbo pin, which jumbos are obviously bigger than the regular rack pins. They're usually like 3 to 5 inches. This right here is a hinge pin. It says "Believe" on the front, and you can see it retails for $85, and it's limited edition of $250. So they're pretty pricey pins. And down here we have a Beware pin. It's the same setup. This right here is a Chernobog slider pin, which I actually got this one. It's a limited edition 500. I put that on my RSP, and Disney said, hey, you can buy this one, so I was lucky enough to get that one. Here is the calendar, the countdown pin. They actually made 13 of these pins, and they release one every month up until the event. This one's limited edition 750, and I got that one as well. Here is a Evil Queen hinge pin. It's the calendar, and September 13th is bold there. This one's limited edition 300. I actually got this one. This is the rarest pin I got at the event. And then they did a bunch of sets. They're all villain themed. Just go down through these one here are like little spinner pins. Here's another one I got. This is the logo pin, limited edition 500. Here's more sets. This one right here you can see retail for $109 because you got 4 pins, all limited edition of $250. And just a bunch of sets they released. This right here was the last pin. It's a super jumbo pin. I actually got to see someone who bought this pin. I talked to someone in line who had it. They let me look at it. It was only 150 of these were produced, and it was $150, which I can't spend that much on a pin, but someone in line had one, and I got to look at it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a pin.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. And then what else they did here on my screen here, you'll see this is these are glass shards, and you couldn't purchase these pins. At the event, they had pin boards set up, and you had to go around, and it was kind of like a scavenger hunt. They're limited release, so they aren't limited edition, but they weren't available to the public for purchase. You could only get them through trading on the Disney boards. So I actually didn't know about this until I went to the event. I was about 2 hours into the event, and someone asked me if I got any of these pins yet, and I said, no, I didn't know what you were talking about. And then I ended up finding the Mickey Mouse ear pin. This is the first one I found. So that was kind of like my goal for the day, to collect all of these pins, and I did. And they all form the 13 mirror.
Is that Figment on the top?
Yeah, that's Figment, yep. So I got the Fab 5, and Figment, Chip and Dale.
Well, now Pluto's not there. Pluto's part of the Fab 5.
Yeah, you're right. They left him out.
Yeah, so it's not really the Fab 5, but you do have Sorcerer Mickey, you got Minnie, Donald, Goofy. I'm not sure why Figment's there, but then you have Chip and Dale.
Yeah. And I thought this was weird here. On Donald Duck, his hat here has some weird symbol on it, which I don't know what that is. You can see Goofy has a symbol on his hat too, and I'm not sure what that means.
13?
No, it's like a clover or something.
Oh, okay.
And Goofy, his is like a horseshoe. So let me switch back here.
So how much money did you spend?
Are you able to see me? Am I back?
No, we did for a moment, but now it's showing me.
Yeah.
Here we are.
There
Now
you
it's
Oh, we're back? Okay. I spent too much money. on the random selection pins, the ones there that I just showed you, the few I got, I think I spent about $60 or $70 on those. But while I was at the event, I bought a lot of pins down there. And then, Frank, I was showing you that Haunted Mansion artwork I bought, and I bought some other stuff at Art of Disney. So I ended up spending a little over $1,000. So, but it was worth it.
Now the statue on the Haunted Mansion characters, that was really cool.
Yeah, I had that on my desk here. Let me show you again.
Yeah.
This here. It's Hitchhiking Ghost, and the lamppost there light up. So I have that there on my desk.
I'm sure that was plenty expensive right there.
Yeah. Also, during the event on Saturday, they had some artist signings there. I didn't get to do any of those. So a lot of the artists who designed the pins were there, and you could take your pins up to them, and they would sign it for you. The lines were pretty long, though, and I was determined to get all those limited release pins, so I kept going back to the pin board lines to get those. And they also had a stage set up, and all the villains came out. They had the 13 villains. I don't even remember all the ones they had. But they also did one of the ladies from Disney Pin Design Group was there and talked about all of the upcoming releases for the remainder of the year, as well as some of the 2014 pins coming up. So they have a lot of cool new pins coming up. And they also gave a little preview of next year's event, which is going to be called the Imagination Gala. And I think it might be Figment themed. I'm not 100% sure on that, but the crowd went nuts over that. So
Sure. They give you another date to start saving your money for it.
I know. It's probably going to be September next year again, or October. But they haven't had a official date set yet. But as soon as I know, I'm going to start planning that trip.
There's so many pins. How do you limit yourself?
Yeah, there is a lot. Disney releases new pins every single week, and usually it's between like 5 and 15 new pins every week because there's like over 100,000 in circulation to date. So I collect mainly Haunted Mansion and Tower of Terror, my two favorite rides, and I also like Peter Pan pins, and a lot of the hidden Mickey pins as well. I like, but it kind of limits it to a few there. I don't have as many as most pin collectors. You can see the cork boards on the back there. They're not completely full. I just have a couple hundred, but
oh, is that all?
Yeah, that's all.
I like how you try and make yourself feel better. I don't have as many as other collectors.
Yeah, it just makes myself feel better. I met this guy in line down at the convention who had like 4,000 pins, he told me.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
He said his whole wall in his house was covered in corkboard.
Well, just last weekend I found out about the annual pass set that they had at Disneyland. I didn't know it ever existed before, and I know I have a Disney credit card, and I know there's special pin for Disney credit card holders. So
yeah,
I've never gotten it, but it's there.
Yeah, you should pick them up. They're limited release, and if you ever want to trade with anyone, they'll probably trade you something.
I don't really want them, but I'd be happy to get it for somebody who liked it.
There you go.
I know that I've looked for things that I used to collect things, and so I'd love it to make somebody's day or something. So
yeah,
it's out there. If anybody's collecting pins, I'll get it for you, and
there you go.
You can have it.
I have a couple because I have a Disney Visa card as well, and I have a couple of those. I like them. I won't trade any of those, but.
Are those Disney specific too? I mean, I know they were having some event out here at Disneyland for pin traders. So does Disneyland have special events as well as Disney World?
Yeah, Disney World and Disneyland, they have quarterly, they're called pin trading nights. And I know the ones in Florida are usually at the ESPN zone. Mm-hmm. And the ones in Disneyland are usually, I believe, at the Paradise Pier Hotel. They have those quarterly, and they're pretty much just people who bring their pin books and they can trade with others. It's not as big as the one they have every year in Florida. They don't have new pin releases for the quarterly ones. It's just people getting together to trade their pins. I've actually never been to one of the quarterly pin trading nights, but I'd like to go to one of them.
I've never been to a pin trading event, but yet I bought this hat, and it came with pins.
I like it.
So I have Disney pins all around the hat.
I gotta add some to my hat.
And then I've got out in my family room, which is painted in Disney colors, and I have Disney stuff out there. Not just this stuff you see here. I have more Disney stuff out in my family room. But I've got two of these cases that latch closed, and they're full of Disney pins.
That's awesome.
I'm not a big collector. I just like I'll see something and I'll get it. But I've got some older stuff before people were really collecting pins.
Yeah, I like collecting. It's fun. I like meeting new people at the events and trading with them.
Sure.
So, I also like trading with cast members because they can't say no.
No, they have to give you 2.
That's right. Yep. You're allowed 2 trades with them.
Right.
So 2 trades per cast member. There's also a lot of new pins coming out for the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and all of the Epcot Food and Wine Festival pins were released this past week on Friday, I believe. So I just wish I could get back down to get some of those pins.
Yeah, they seem to have a pin for every activity that there is at Disney.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the pins took off. I mean, this was just And it wasn't something recent. It was like just a few years ago.
Yeah, well, it started in 1999, but it didn't really take off until like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So, and ever since then, it's been growing. There's a lot of other pin websites. My blog is just geared really towards the new pin releases every week, and I'll do giveaways sometimes, and I'll list all the pin events. And I also do other like Disney current event news, because I have this lady in Florida that likes to write, and she'll provide a lot of the current events. Like we just did the Vera Bradley release, so I put that on even though it's not pin related.
So tell everybody what your website name is.
It's just DisneyPinsBlog.com.
Okay, and that's the same as your Twitter name.
Yep, same, and also Facebook. It's all the same.
Okay. So we'll have Ryan back, and because as he keeps collecting, we can keep hearing all these wonderful stories.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Well, yeah, especially like to hear the stories about anybody that goes really nuts.
Yeah.
The people. I mean, you just talked about you spent $1,000. That to me is crazy. I don't. But
Yep. Well, it's a hobby. It's fun.
Hey, there's people that have spent more than that. I know.
Oh, I know. Like I met this one guy down there who's had 750 Vinylmation, and those are more expensive than pins. So.
He bought them while he was down there?
Well, no, that's how many he had in his collection.
Oh, yeah.
And Vinylmation are fairly new, so he's.
That's true. He's
buying a lot.
Yeah,
at a fast rate.
I was telling Ryan the other day, Christiane, I've got a few that I can see from here on my Vinylmations. But
we have one at my house.
I have one too.
It's Jack Sparrow, and my daughter. That's all she wanted, are the Pirates ones, and it was one of those ones where it was a blind box, and she picked it out of all the boxes. So I was like, yes.
Well, they have a new. Sorry, Frank. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I was gonna say they have a new set out now. That I saw Orange Bird was in it, and also the Bellhop from Tower of Terror. I really want those two, but it's just hard because you don't know what you're gonna get. It's a mystery.
But they'll change them out. I know one or two of the stores at Disneyland, they do some sort of exchange thing there.
Oh yeah, if you don't like it, you can trade it for. They have a couple there behind the counter you can trade.
Right.
My local Disney store here in Pittsburgh, they do the same thing. I wish they would do that with pins, but they only have Vinylmation there. They don't sell pins at the Disney stores anymore.
Right.
So.
Well, thank you very much for coming on and sharing about the pins. And
thanks for having me.
Well, yeah, we'll have you back, and we'll get ourselves updated on what's out there and what people are looking for.
Great.
And as we always say on the show, be kind to one another, take care of each other, spread a little Disney magic where you can. Good night, everybody.
Good night.